So before enter into the topic, we need to know what is meant by process. Then only you can able to understand what is meant by thread. So a process is nothing but executable instance of the computer program. For example, you can take the Zoom meeting. So in the Zoom meeting, we are going to conduct the meeting. So that thing is said to be the process. The same process will be subdivided into small program. That is said to be the thread. That's why the process is said to be the heavyweight and the thread is said to be the lightweight. That's why the process is said to be the heavyweight and thread is said to be the lightweight. For example, you can take another example. We can go for paint. So in paint window, you are usually paint something, that is draw any diagram. So the paint is the whole process. Inside the process, we are dividing something. We are dividing the work into the small program. That is said to be the thread. So here you can able to, why we are going to divide that? In order to make the throughput increases. That is in order to reduce the process time. That's why we are dividing into the small threads. So in this figure itself you are clear. So this is a process, and inside the process we will having the thread. So then what is mean by multi-threading? So from the name itself we will having the meaning. So multi-threading is the execution of thread simultaneously, that is parallelly. So multi-threading is also said to be the multitasking. If suppose I had working at the paint, at the same time I will go for the word, at the same time I will go for the notepad. So like that, at a simultaneous time we are working at many thread. That is said to be the multi-threading. So let me go to the example. So in first example we are going to create the single thread. After that only we are going to create the multiple thread. So I am opening the terminal. In the terminal, I am opening the script mode. So in order to execute the single thread, we need one module called as threading module. We need a module called as threading module. So from threading module, I am going to import the whole thing from the threading module. So these things are predefined. The threading, inside the threading module we having the specific function like start, in order to start the thread, like that. So this program is used to create a single thread. So in order to create the single thread, we need to have the main thread. So assume that this is parent thread. This is parent thread. So this parent thread is divided into child thread. That is single child thread. That child thread will be shown inside the function. I am using the function to show the child thread. So inside the function, I am giving as print. This is child thread. This is child thread. Usually we need to create the object for the thread. These are the basic syntax for creating the thread. So here we are creating the single thread. At next example we are going to create the multiple thread. So thread is nothing but the dividing of large program into small program. So multi-threading is all that program has to be executed parallelly in order to decrease the execution time. So thread is the keyword. So target. So which thing is the target? So the show is a function which containing the child thread. The thread which containing the child thread will be given as the target. So in target, inside the target keyword, we need to give the name of the function. The function name, the function should contain the child thread activities. So after creating the object for the thread, we are going for start. We are going to start the thread. So here I am explaining once again. So this is the main thread, that is parent thread. So the parent thread is divided into child thread. So the child thread, the working of child thread are shown come under the function called show. So we need to initiate that thread, that is we need to start that thread. So for starting the thread, before starting the thread, we need to assign the function to the target thread. So after that only we will start the program. So again I am saving the program and running the program. Yeah, so first the child thread is executed, after that only the parent thread is executed. So this is a simple program. I will give you another example to understand. So next thing is we are going to create the multiple thread. Multiple thread is nothing but we are going to create a multiple functions by using the threading concept. Okay, so same thing, from threading I am going to import all the keyword. So after importing, import type, I will say why I had import time afterwards. So first of all I am going to create the class. For example class. First of all I am going to create the class. So inside the class I am going to create the three thread. So usually the thread are come under the function. So the first function is number. We already know that when a function is created inside the class, the function has to be carried at least one parameter. If it is the function is created outside the class, that is without any class, then there is no need to carry out any parameter. But when a function is created inside the class, we need to create the parameter. So the first function is, that is first thread is number. So inside this I had given for I in range of 1, 5. So from 1, 5, I will going to take the value of I from 1 to 4. 1 to 4, that is the range, means it will take the first value from first value to the end minus 1. 5 minus 1, 4. Then it will take the first 4 values. Also we know that it has to be end with the colon. So print I value. Print I value. The number is. So it should be come under the colon. The number is. It should be come under the colon, comma I. So this will be my first thread. So after executing this thread, after executing one iteration, it has to be sleep for 1 second. So that only we can able to execute the next thread at simultaneously manner. So next thread. So we know that the thread are given inside the function. So next thread also cube. The name of the thread is cube. Also the function which is created inside the class should carry out one parameter. So same thing for I in range of 1, 5 colon print the cube. Print the cube, comma. So the cube will be I square into I into I. So we need to multiply I 3 times. After executing one iteration, it has to be sleep for 1 second. So why we are giving why we are giving sleep means then only we can able to execute the next thread. That is said to be the multi-threading concept. So multi-threading is the thread are executed at simultaneous manner. So again I am creating the another thread. So same thing for I in range of 1, 5 colon print the square, comma I into I. So again I am going make it to sleep for 1 second. Yeah. So that's all. We had created the 3 thread. So if we are creating the class means, then we need to create the object. So what is the syntax of creating object is object name is equal to class name. Example. So after that we need to initiate the thread. So here I had created the 3 thread. So thread thread target equal to, we need to access the method inside the class, then there will be the object needed, object dot number. First method is num. So this will be my first thread. So same process T2. So each and every function are assigned as a child thread. So whereas in previous example we had created only 1 thread, whereas here we had created 3 threads. Cube. So why I am using object means because the threads are present inside the class. So in order to access the members present inside the class, we need to create the object. Object dot square. Yeah, we had created the 3 thread. Next thing is we need to start the thread. T1 dot start. So I am making make the thread to sleep for some time, so that only, why I am using sleep means so that only we can able to execute simultaneously, or else the first thread has been executed completely, after that only the next thread will be executed. That's why only we are going for the sleep concept. Time dot sleep of for 2 seconds, that is 0.2 second. I am making the thread to sleep, so that at that particular time the next thread will be executed. At particular time the next thread will be executed. Start of 3. So time dot sleep of 0.2 second. I am making it to sleep. Then after that, so each and every time the one thread is executed and it will sleep for 0.2 second. At that time while it's sleeping, the second thread has to be executed. So the output has to be combined together. So that's why we will going for the joint keyword. Thread 1 has to be joined. The output of thread 1 has to be joined. Output of thread 2 has to be joined. Output of thread 3 has to be joined. Thread 3 has to be joined. So and also we need a main thread. So this is said to be the parent thread. So this parent thread is divided into the child thread, and that child thread has been executed simultaneously. So I am once again explaining the program. So first we need thread module in order to use the keywords of the thread. Next, import time. So the time is used for the purpose of sleep. So here we had created the class. Inside the class we will having the 3 methods. So each and every method will be represented as a one thread. So for that, in order to access the method of the class, we had created the object. So by means of object only we can able to access the method of the class. So we had created the 3 thread, T1, T2, T3. After creating the 3 thread, we had started the thread, and each thread has to be sleep for 0.2 second, because at that sleep time only we can able to execute the next thread. So that is the concept of multi-threading. So again I am saving the program and run the module. So you can able to see the number is 1. Cube. Simultaneously it executing. The first method is executed. after the second method executed. That is, if in case of for loop, the for loop has to be false, then only it will go to the second function. Here I am giving the sleep, that is I am giving the sleep function, that's why it executed simultaneously. Each and every method will be executing simultaneously. So by executing simultaneous manner, we can able to decrease the execution time. That is the use of multi-threading. If you are not using threading concept, means what will happen means that is first number has to be executed completely from 1 to 4. After getting the output from 1 to 4 only, it will go to the cube method. After that only it will go to the square method. So that will be led to the increase of execution process. That's why we are going for threading concept.